It's estimated that 70 to 85 million people died during World War II, making it the deadliest conflict in human history.
Here's the envelope from battalion. So you're really going to ship me out?
That's right.
And I'll give you the rest of the day to get my name off that list.
Don't threaten me. Get out.
The federal law requires nearly all male U.S. citizens and male immigrants ages 18 through 25 must register with Selective Service. And I don't know if you knew that failure to register is a felony, and it's punishable by up to a $250,000 fine or 5 years imprisonment. During the Vietnam War, it's estimated that 570,000 people were classified as draft deserters or evaders. Former President Bill Clinton and former President Donald Trump each received 5 draft deferments to avoid military service. From 2001 to 2020, the U.S. taxpayers spent $6 trillion on war operations. In 2019, the United States military spending exceeded the combined spending of China, India, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Germany, United Kingdom, France, Japan, South Korea, and Brazil.
The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan have cost us almost 7,000 brave men and women, and I know we have at least one Gold Star mother here today. But the cost of those wars, as Tulsi was just reminding us, goes well beyond those who never came home. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of men and women who went off to war, who came home not only without legs or sight or hearing, but came home with a very, very difficult, debilitating set of issues, either PTSD, post-traumatic stress, or traumatic brain injury. Many of the men and women who served in Iraq and Afghanistan were exposed to the IEDs, to these bombs. And you may not have been killed, maybe you were knocked to the ground, but you go through that time and time again, it does something. And by the way, the National Football League is learning this lesson right now, that brain injury, the constant battering that the ball players face, very similar to what the men and women in the military face when these bombs are going off. Turns out that hundreds of thousands came home with post-traumatic stress disorder, being in combat, seeing the guy next to them having his head blown off, or in fact taking a life, doing things which human beings do not normally or naturally do. And this stays with you for your whole life. I will never forget 25 years ago.
30% of vets have disabilities as a result of their service, and over 48,000 vets are homeless or at risk of being homeless.
We did a veterans meeting in Randolph, Vermont, 25 years ago. We had a bunch of veterans and their wives or girlfriends sitting around a table. And a woman gets up and she says her husband served in World War II, still has nightmares of hand-to-hand combat that he experienced in World War II. Years, decades after he came home, still has nightmares. In fact, can't remember who said it, she was almost strangled by her husband, woke up in the middle of the night and thought that he was under attack. Those things never leave.
In 2018, an average of 17.6 veterans died by suicide each day. In 1946, Ernest Hemingway said, "Never think that war, no matter how necessary, nor how justified, is not a crime."